By the way, this was enacted on February 10, 1998. So medyo matagal na tong batas na to. But prior to 1998, prior to the enactment of this law, the Philippine oil industry was heavily regulated by the government. Hello guys, this is Attorney Zai, and in our topic for today's episode on Let's Talk Legal, we will discuss RA 8479, or the Downstream Oil Industry Deregulation Act of 1998, or commonly known as the Oil Deregulation Law. So alam naman natin ang nangyayari ngayon sa mundo. There's a war between the United States and Iran, at ito ay nakakaapekto sa ekonomiya natin dito sa bansang Pilipinas, particularly ang oil prices. So patuloy na tumataas ang presyo ng langis, and the public are urging the government to put a cap or control the oil prices. And now the question is, can the government, through the Department of Energy, put a cap or control the oil prices? So let's answer that in today's video. All right, so ano nga ba tong RA 8479, or the Oil Deregulation Law? So from the word itself, deregulation, meaning pagtanggal ng mga regulasyon or mga restrictions, particularly government restrictions on petroleum products. Okay? By the way, this was enacted on February 10, 1998. So medyo matagal na tong batas na to. But prior to 1998, prior to the enactment of this law, the Philippine oil industry was heavily regulated by the government, such as the Energy Regulatory Board. So ang ERC dati ang nagko-control ng price ng oil prices, ng supply and demand of petroleum products. But because of RA 8479, or the Oil Deregulation Law, it removes the government restrictions or the government regulations on petroleum products. So now, let's take a look of RA 8479, no? So under 8479, ang purpose bakit daw ginawa itong batas is to liberalize and deregulate the downstream oil industry. So ibig sabihin, ang purpose or ang goal ng RA 8479 is to dismantle the regulatory controls and allow market forces to determine oil prices. Meaning, yung presyo ng langis nakadepende na sa supply and demand, or sa galaw sa merkado ng palitan ng langis. So hindi na ang gobyerno ang magkokontrol kung magkano ang presyo ng langis, but ang magkokontrol na is kung ang palitan ng langis sa pandaigdigang merkado, particularly the law on supply and demand. Okay? So Section 2 of the said law, kung ating babasahin, no, it shall be the policy of the state to liberalize and deregulate the downstream oil industry in order to ensure a truly competitive market under a regime of fair prices, adequate and continuous supply of environmentally clean and high-quality petroleum products. So, basically, ang goal niya is to promote free and fair competition among industry players, to ensure fair prices of petroleum products, to guarantee adequate and continuous supply for oil products, encourage entry of new participants into the industry, no? And also to ensure environmentally clean and high quality petroleum products. So ito ang goal or ang layunin ng batas na RA 8479. So now let's move on to the salient features, no, of RA 8479. So number one is the liberalization of the downstream oil industry. So this is actually one of the important provision of the law, no? This can be seen on chapter 2 of the said law, no? It provides on section 5 the liberalization of the industry, no? So basically ang sinasabi dito is it allows any person or entity to engage in the oil industry, including importing and marketing petroleum products. So kahit sino ang gustong sumali or kahit sino ang gustong mag-participate sa oil industry ay pwede na. Hindi na siya limited doon sa mga malalaking oil companies, no, like Petron, Shell, and Caltex. So hindi na siya limited sa big three, but it allows other participants, no, to engage and to invest in the oil industry. So that's the purpose, one of the purposes. So this provision effectively opened the oil market to new entrants. Yun na nga sinabi natin, ending the dominance of a few large oil companies. So kahit sino pwede nang mag-invest sa oil industry dito sa Pilipinas under the Oil Deregulation Law. Second, eto, removal of government price control. So sinabi natin kanina, before the enactment of RA 8479, it was the government who controlled the prices of the oil prices. But because of this law, it deregulates the controls, the government control. So here, it removed the government price control. So now, under this law, the oil companies are allowed to set prices based on the market forces. So basically, law and supply of demand din ang a-apply dito. And the government's role, take note, the government's role now is merely to monitor rather than controlling. So sa una, makokontrol pa nila ang galawan ng presyo ng petroleum products. Pero under the oil deregulation law, ang papel na lang ng gobyerno is to monitor. So they cannot control but only monitor. Okay? So take note that ang presyo ng langis, the petroleum products, they are largely influenced by the global crude oil prices, exchange rates, supply and demand, and also taxes and transportation. So nakadepende rin, may mga factors and circumstances then that should be considered in setting the price or setting the oil prices. So kaya paiba-iba ang presyo ng langis, no? Ngayon mahal, bukas mura, so paiba-iba. So another salient feature of this law is uniform tariff on imported oil. So if you're going to check section 6 of the said law, it provides, or the law introduced a single and uniform tariff, which is 3% on imported crude oil and refined petroleum products. So uniform na siya. Lahat ng imported petroleum products, it imposes the same and uniform tariff, which is 3%. No? However, there's a proviso clause here under Section 6 that the President may reduce the tariff rate if necessary, depending on the economic conditions. So itong depending on the economic conditions, medyo dyan pa ang dapat klaruhin or dapat i-specify kung kailan talaga papasok ang presidente para pababain niya ang tariff rate, no? So need pa siya ng classification or exact definition, no, of the proviso clause. Now, another salient feature of the law is the promotion of new market participants. So sinabi ko na to kanina na hindi na siya limited dun sa big three oil companies lang. Any person or any entities that will meet the criteria or will comply the requirements are allowed now to participate in the oil industry. Okay? And lastly, the prohibited acts, no, under our RA 8479. So under this law, it provides several anti-competitive and regulatory violations that are considered punishable. No? For example, cartelization. So this refers to any agreement among oil companies to fix prices, restrict production, divide markets, and control supply. So bawal yon. Bawal ang cartelization. So, kasali din dito ang concerted actions by refiners, importers, or dealers to restrain competition. So anything that will affect the supply and demand of the oil industry, the competition, that is prohibited under RA 8479. And also predatory pricing. So predatory pricing occurs when a company sells petroleum products below its average variable cost with the intention of destroying competitors, eliminating competition, and preventing new entrants, especially the smaller ones, from entering the market. So pinapababaan nila ang presyo para hindi pumasok ang mga maliliit na gustong sumali sa oil industry. Then another prohibited acts, no, under this law is the non-compliance with the Department of Energy regulation. So it's also prohibited under RA 8479 to refuse compliance with certain requirements imposed by the DOE. Of course, that's already given. So everyone has to comply with the regulatory requirements set by the government. So now, going back to our question earlier, can the government put a cap or control the oil prices in the Philippines? So the answer is no. Ang sagot, dahil sa Oil Deregulation Act, which na-discuss na natin kanina. So again, the Oil Deregulation Act, it dismantle or it removes restrictions or regulations on petroleum products. So that includes the price of the oil. So I hope that's clear, and that's it for Let's Talk Legal with Attorney Zai.